Well, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for taking time to learn about America's Tooth Fairy and our Smile Drive program. I've recognized a lot of the names that were on the sign-up list for today's webinar session, but for those of you that I have not connected with previously, my name is Robin Vann. I am the National Programs Manager at America's Tooth Fairy, and part of my job as the National Programs Manager is working with the Smile Drive. So I have the great privilege of working with all of our Smile Drive volunteers. I am so grateful for you coming and joining me today to learn more about the Smile Drive. With the generous support of our title sponsor, Crest and Oral-B, and the collective effort of volunteers like you, we have a chance to make an impact on a lot of smiles this year. For those of you that have participated in the Smile Tribe in years past, let me just pause and say thank you. Thank you for the difference that you have made for so many children. Since 2014, our Smile Drive volunteers have helped us to distribute over 2.2 million oral care products to children and families in need. And since you're here today, I'll assume that you're interested in joining this effort. So today's presentation will give you a brief background on America's Tooth Fairy and share tips for hosting a successful Smile Drive. If at any point you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat box. I have reserved time at the end of the presentation to answer your questions. Go ahead, put them in the chat box. I'll come back to them. And if you think of any questions after we meet today, feel free to email me. My contact information will be on that last slide. But before we jump into the Smile Drive, I'd like to take a brief moment just to give you a little bit of a background on America's Tooth Fairy. In 2006, America's Tooth Fairy was founded as a direct response to the then Surgeon General declaration that pediatric dental disease, or as you and I may commonly refer to it, severe tooth decay, had become a silent epidemic in this country. Concerned clinicians, academicians, and corporate leaders joined together through America's Tooth Fairy to respond to the oral health crisis. Our core belief at America's Tooth Fairy is that every child deserves a healthy smile. And we are committed to improving access to oral health education and dental care. As a resource provider, we are proud to say that we have helped to facilitate more than $23 million in donated dental products, educational materials, and financial grants to dental clinics and community partners since our founding. The tough reality is that tooth decay is still a major problem in our country. In fact, pediatric dental disease is the #1 chronic childhood disease. In the United States, 28% of children ages 2 to 5 have experienced tooth decay, and more than 51 million school hours are missed each year due to dental-related illnesses. Untreated tooth decay can result in pain, malnutrition, life-threatening infections, long-term health consequences, and in the most severe cases, even death. These statistics are unsettling. But the encouraging news is that tooth decay is largely preventable, and it starts with every child having their own toothbrush. And everyone, I'll say it again, everyone can make a difference and protect young smiles by joining the Smile Drive. Did I say everyone? Young at heart, dental professionals, those without a dental background, students, student organizations. We invite you all to join us and get the toothbrushes and other dental supplies into the hands of children who need them most. And participation in the Smile Drive is easy. We're all familiar with canned food drives, right? or maybe a toy drive or a coat drive. Well, that's exactly what the Smile Drive is. It's a collection drive, but for oral care products. You can see the host in this, you can see the host in this photo, or I should say host in this photo have collected toothbrushes. I see toothpaste. Let's see, there's scope rents in the front. They've collected quite a bit of dental supplies for children in their local community. And the thing that I love about Smile Drive, and many of our hosts love as well, is that you, as the Smile Drive host, get to select the organization that's dear to your heart to benefit from your Smile Drive. You can see the hosts in this picture have selected a child advocacy center to receive their donation. And there's so many other wonderful choices that you can select from. After school programs, boys and girls clubs, crisis assistance organizations, food banks, homeless shelters, nonprofit dental clinics, religious institutions, schools, subsidized childcare centers, YMCA, YWCA, and other nonprofit organizations reaching children in your community. Just take a moment. Think about all the organizations that are in your community that are already reaching children who may be most vulnerable to tooth decay. So hopefully I have your attention now and you're interested and want to participate in the Smile Drive. And like I mentioned, it is really easy and a lot of fun. So let's get started with the Smile Drive. Let's get it with starting your Smile Drive. The first thing you'll want to do is think about what type of Smile Drive you'll want to host. For those of you who have participated in the past, I'm guessing you probably did an in-person Smile Drive. The in-person Smile Drive, as you can see in these pictures, are held in person. You have your traditional collection box, and you ask your community to donate to your drive, to give you toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, and rent. And that's probably what some of the canned food drives and other drives you've participated in look like. But in recent years, we have expanded the Smile Drive and introduced a virtual Smile Drive option. As a host of a virtual Smile Drive, you will have an online fundraising page where you ask your friends and family to contribute and raise money to secure toothbrushes and other dental hygiene products for children. The third option, and for that virtual Smile Drive, I'll give you more information on getting that set up in a moment. And the third option is a combination Smile Drive. It's a hybrid of the two. You collect some of your products in person through your collection boxes, but on top of that, you have the option to collect funds from others who want to support by just giving money or by giving money. The next thing you'll want to do is think about when you want to host your Smile Drive. I cannot tell you how many times I have been asked, when is the best time to host the Smile Drive? How long should I host the Smile Drive? Well, the time is always great to host the Smile Drive. Now, the present is always the best time. We've seen success in many different formats. People have hosted a Smile Drive for a day, a weekend, a week, or even a month. February is a great month to host it. It's National Children's Dental Health Month. So whenever you select, the important thing is that your donors know when they're able to get their contributions to you. Next, you'll want to identify a location or locations for your collection boxes. You want to make sure it's easy. We want to make this easy for people to support your Smile Drive. So think about where you can place your collection boxes. Ask yourself, am I going to host as an individual? And that is a option that many select. Or do you want to host it as a team? You could invite your friends, your family, your colleagues, organization you're affiliated with to host the Smile Drive with you. And the great thing about that option is that you get to expand your network and ask more people to give, and it enhances your impact that you're going to have on that local organization. The last thing, which I alluded to, is who will benefit from your Smile Drive. It's always great to think. We talked about some of the options earlier, types of places you can donate to. But if you can be as specific as possible, it makes it easier for the donors to give to your Smile Drive. You can ask your donor, for example, will you help me ensure that every child at Main Street after school program has a toothbrush? It makes it easier for the donor to know how their donation, their contribution will impact your local community. So now that you've started to brainstorm these logistical questions, we want to make sure that you sign up for the Smile Drive, register your Smile Drive, and do it right now. Don't wait. We want you to sign up for the Smile Drive right now, because you'll get so much. You'll get more information from us. I'll walk you through. Let's see. So when you get to smiledrive.org, scroll down, and you'll see the option to host the Smile Drive. And this is where you sign up to register. It's easy. We have a couple questions: name, city and state, your organization, your email. Again, these are questions that we talked about earlier. Are you hosting as an individual or as a group? If you're hosting as a group, feel free to include your group members' email names and emails in this box right here. That will add them to our email list, and they'll also receive tips about how to host a successful Smile Drive. And so I cheated a little bit. I completed this form before I hopped on this webinar, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the form that I have already completed, and I'm going to register my Smile Drive. Immediately after you register your Smile Drive, you're redirected to a resources page. These are some of our scouts that participated in the past. We want to make sure when you get here, and we'll come back to this page, we have so many helpful tips in here. So make sure you scroll down, and we'll come back to this. I don't want to show you everything now, but we'll come back to this. For those of you who said you were selecting an in-person drive, now is the time to pick the locations to place your collection boxes. Remember, if some places may require permission. So if you're going into a public space, make sure you're asking for permission to put your collection box there. Decorate your collection box. When we go back to that resources page, we have tools to help you decorate your collection box. We want to make sure that it's visible and that people can find your collection box as soon as they get there. Tell your friends, family, and neighbors about your Smile Drive so they know how to support you. And again, this is one of my favorite tips. Be sure to tell your dentist and dental hygienist that you're hosting a Smile Drive. A lot of times, they have an excess of supply in their office, and they're happy to donate to support children in their community. You can see our host in this picture reached out to her dental office, and they gave her a sizable box, a nice contribution to our Smile Drive. So that is a tip that I really encourage you to take advantage of. Get creative with your Smile Drive. Maybe you want to request permission to collect outside of a store. Think about your local grocery store or maybe your pharmacy. Ask them if you can set up a table outside of the store. As patrons go into the store, maybe you give them a flyer and tell them what you need. And they can go in and purchase the toothbrushes or the toothpaste, floss, or rinse. And on their way out, it's very convenient for them to donate to your Smile Drive because they can give to you as they leave the store. A very popular option during the pandemic has been the Smile Drive-Through. You can see these scouts here hosted a Smile Drive-Through. Again, the hosts are outside. The donor is able to drive through, does not have to get out of his truck, and is able to support the Smile Drive. And so you could set up your Smile Drive-Through maybe in a church parking lot, a school parking lot. Maybe you ask the store if you can put a Smile Drive-Through, set up a Smile Drive-Through on their location. Create your own contest. Who doesn't like a friendly competition? And so maybe you challenge your rival school to see which school can collect more. Or if you're doing it with your company, maybe you challenge another department to see which department will collect the most or which employee will collect the most. If you're a business owner, are there ways that you can incentivize participation? Maybe you offer prizes to people based off of their participation, where the winner will get a coffee at the local coffee shop. So think about different ways that you can include a contest and some friendly competition, because we all love a friendly competition. For those of us who prefer to host a smile drive from the comfort of our own home, think about an Amazon wish list. A wish list is similar to other registries. You're able to set up a page and list the items that you'd like to receive for your smile drive. As your donors support you, as they purchase the items off of your list, they are shipped right to your home. And then once you've collected all your items, you can take them all together and donate them. The last thing is place a collection box on your front porch. We had a young lady that did really well with this recently. She placed the box on her front porch. She then went and put a note on all of her neighbors' doors to let them know that she would be collecting items for a smile drive, and asked them to support her. And the neighbors did. The neighbors added toothbrushes and toothpaste to their grocery list, and throughout her smile drive, just added those items to the collection box that was on her porch. But the most important thing that we want to stress to you is to have fun. And you can see these smile drive hosts had a lot of fun. We have a tooth mascot, as well as we have a tube of toothpaste. But you also see they decorated their box. They have balloons. They're very visible, and it looks like they had a lot of fun with their smile drive. So we hope you do as well. For those of you who will be hosting a virtual or combination smile drive, the next thing you'll want to do is set up your fundraising page. And so we want you to, you'll just need to go to smiledrive.org. Again, we went to this page earlier. Once you get here, scroll down and you'll see fundraise online. Click, I want to fundraise for this. And then there's one more button where you can say, I want to fundraise for this. And as you can see, some smile drives have already hit the ground running, and they have collected quite a bit of money to purchase toothbrushes for their community. Every dollar that goes towards your virtual smile drive purchases 2 toothbrushes. I'm very excited to share that Smile Makers has made the pledge to match every dollar collected throughout the month of February. So think about it. Every dollar that you collect in February, it actually purchases 4 toothbrushes for children that need them most. For those of you who collect $250 or more, America's Tooth Fairy will donate all the proceeds from your smile drive to an organization of your choosing. Your collection will cover all the expenses for shipping, packaging, getting those toothbrushes to that organization. For those of you who don't quite collect $250, we will pool your smile drive with other virtual smile drives, and those toothbrushes will be donated where most needed. But I'm going to go back to our resources page because there's several things that I want you to see. Make sure once you've registered that you take some time to browse that page. We have flyers and posters and educational cards. We want you to download them. Use the social media graphics, which will include facts about tooth decay, and share them with the hashtag #ATSmileDrive. We love seeing what's working for you. So let me go back to that page. Again, this is where we were earlier once you signed up for the Smile Drive. We have lots of helpful tips. You can download a printable guide here. If you decide later that you wanted to accept donations, you can still set up your donation page by clicking here. You'll see the February, $1 equals 4 toothbrushes. So make sure you get started as soon as you can if you're going to do a virtual smile drive. But we have graphics, social media. We know that is sometimes the best place to reach people. And so use your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn. I feel like I'm missing one of these social media options, but we have graphics that can help you. All you have to do is come to our page and you can download any of these images that you see and use them for your smile drive and to show your friends and family how they can support you. We also have facts in here. I'm sure people will be surprised to learn that tooth decay is the #1 chronic childhood disease in America. Another option is on your birthday. Ask people to give the gift of a smile to a child. And so we have graphics here. Maybe some of your friends will support your smile drive as a part of your birthday wish. You've noticed lots of box decorations. We have box decorations in here, so you can download the printable decorations in here. Learn about prizes that are contests that are currently going on. We have flyers. The other good thing about the Smile Drive is it's a wonderful opportunity to raise awareness about the importance of oral health and provide the recipients with helpful tips for maintaining healthy oral hygiene. So we have tips in here that you can download, flyers, brochures. So make sure you take some time to look to see what's in here. We even have a press release if you're interested in doing that. Let's see. Make sure you check your emails. Again, once you register, you will be rerouted to that page that I just showed you. But you will also, in your email, receive a link to download a volunteer guide that also has helpful hints in it. So make sure you're checking your email. The first thing you will want is this guide. There we go. I'm going to skip back to the page we were on. But we will also send you a Smile Drive newsletter with helpful tips and other assets. We'll highlight those Smile Drives that have been successful and share what they're doing to collect oral hygiene products in their community. So if you're looking for additional materials outside of the scope of the Smile Drive, make sure you visit americastoothfairy.org/resources. We have lots of lessons and tips and brochures that are available free, and you're able to download them there. Lastly, tell us about your Smile Drive by June 30th, 2022. Before then, we ask that you count all the products that you have received, donate them to the organization that you selected, and then complete the brief report at smiledrive.org. Again, I will walk you through once you get to smiledrive.org. Again, we'll ask that you scroll down, and now you're going to go to this third link to report your donation. We ask that you take lots of pictures and share them. Who knows, you may inspire the next Smile Drive host. So please include pictures. We love to see them. We love to share them. And so that concludes my presentation for today. I will ask my colleague, Jan, if she can unmute at this time. And Jan, did we receive any questions in the chat box?
Well, one question that we do get quite frequently is how to count items that are received in a physical drive. So if someone receives an 8-pack of toothbrushes, does that count as one or does that count as 8?
Oh, thank you, Dan. That is a question that we receive often. Let me start by saying we ask, when possible, to ask people to give individual packs. Of course, we're going to receive anything, whatever people have, we're happy to receive. We'll find a home for those toothbrushes. But it's a lot easier to distribute toothbrushes if they're individually packaged. But when you are counting, if you do receive an 8-pack, each toothbrush counts towards your final collection count.
We also got the question, how do I select the organization to receive our product donations, or what organizations do you suggest that should be recipients of our Smile Drive donations?
Wonderful. That's a great question. Well, one of the things that we love about the Smile Drive is that we don't want you to send the toothbrushes to America's Tooth Fairy. We want your toothbrushes, your rent, everything that you collected in your Smile Drive to remain in the community where they were collected. So think about the organizations that are in your community that are connected to children. Think about some of the after school programs, the food banks, the food pantries, the shelters, places that are connected to children that are most vulnerable to tooth decay. We ask that you select them, and hopefully it's one that's dear to your heart, and donate to that organization.
The last question we had is, if I do a virtual Smile Drive, how will the organization we designate receive the oral care products?
Oh, that is an excellent question. So at the conclusion of your virtual Smile Drive, and I'm going to assume that the person that asked this question raised $250 or more, we will ship those from America's Tooth Fairy to the organization. We will reach out to you. We will get the best contact for that organization. We'll get their shipping information, and we will ship directly from America's Tooth Fairy to this organization. As it ships, you as the host will receive an email notification with the tracking information, so that you will know when it ships. You'll be able to reach out to the organization and let them know that my donation is on its way, and you'll be able to connect with them as it arrives. For those of you who collect less than $250, your toothbrushes will go towards the general fund, and America's Tooth Fairy receives requests on a daily basis from schools, school nurses, different organizations that have a immediate need for toothbrushes, and your toothbrushes will go out right away to one of those organizations.
Then also, can you please review where and when do I report the results of our Smile Drive?
Absolutely. Again, if you go to, my screen froze for a second. I'm so glad we received that question. If you go to smiledrive.org, let's see, my computer's acting up a little bit. Now that you're at smiledrive.org, if you scroll down, you'll see a tab that says Report Donations. We'll click on Report Donations. You'll enter your information here, your name, city, email. We'll ask you a few questions about how many items you collected and where you donated to. If you did collect more than $250, we will ask for where you want to donate your products. And then we just ask you a few questions about your Smile Drive. We want to learn from you, just as we shared stories about groups from last year with you. We want to share your stories with future Smile Drive hosts. So we ask you a few questions about your Smile Drive. We encourage you to share pictures, but just complete this form and submit it to us by June 30th, 2022.
And that was the end of the questions. However, I will add, as the communications manager here, you will also receive multiple emails to kind of keep you on track. That will also include links to be able to submit your report in a timely manner. So thank you, Robin, for doing this for us.
Oh, thank you, Jan. And if anyone has any questions, I'll skip to my contact information. Please, here we go. Please feel free to email me. My email address is programs@ncohf.org. I'd love to hear from you. I said it at the beginning of the presentation. Smile Drive is one of my favorite parts of this position. So I love working with all of you volunteers. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone.